Okay, so this video is about how to add dimensions to your kitchen. Now, what I did, this is exactly going to be as adding dimensions in Unit 6 that you have created. And what I did is the first thing that you need to do is to create the dimension text. So here's what you need to do. I already have created those dimensions, and I'm going to show you also where you're going to be applying them later. And what you will do is that you are going to start with the standard text style. I'm sorry, the standard dimension style. And once you have the standard dimension style, this is the origin from where we're going to be creating our own dimension style. So from here, from the second part, this is the text style. We actually need to be working on a dimension style, creating a new dimension style. So make sure that this icon here is what you're going to be using. And then from the drop-down menu, I'm going to be selecting standard. Okay, so after selecting the standard, I'm going to click on Manage Dimension Styles. So if we create a standard, if we're going to be creating a text a dimension style from the standard, we need to click on New. So we're not adding the dimension style features to the standard. We're actually going to copy this, and then we're going to be doing the modification accordingly. So if you are in standard here, click on Modify. Okay, and I'm sorry, not modify. We need to go back. We need to click on new. Okay, and from new, you're gonna see that there's a copy of standard. Now, I can actually make. You're going to be naming this dimension style, so you can type dim style. Okay, and because I already have one here, it's probably gonna tell me that that dimension style is the same. But I'm just gonna, for me, I'm going to just put 001, but you can go with dimension style, and then you're going to click on continue. Okay. Now, after that, this is a dimension style that we're going to be working with. Now, I have created another one, which is this one here, which is the one that you're going to be modifying all of the attributes that you have, and I'm going to show them to you. So I'm going to make sure that you know that. So here we go. For the lines, you're not selecting anything other than what we have here. The lines should have, the dimensional lines should be by layer. We're going to leave the line type and the line weight as by block. Okay, so those, make sure that the dimension line here at the beginning is by layer, but then the line type and the line weight are left as by block. I'm going to leave the extend beyond text and the baseline spacing at those common values. I didn't change anything here in the extend beyond dim lines and offset from origin, so I left those values as is. Now in the symbols and arrows, I clicked on architectural tick, so those are the two things that I'm selecting. I changed the arrow size or the architectural tick size to 40. Okay, and you can see I left the center marks at mark, the arc length simple, preceding dimension text, and there is nothing I added here. In the text, though, what I selected is standard. Now, you might need to do a little bit of modification in the text style. So you can click here, okay, and this is going to send you to the text style. So the text style we're going to be using is standard. And here, when you click here, you can actually change the attributes of the text style. So I selected Times New Roman. I know that you might have another text selection in your assignment description, but the Times New Roman is much better than the Roman one because it's more visible. The regular style, the text height is 70. There is nothing here that we selected. We didn't select annotative. Okay, and then you're gonna click apply. So Times New Roman, regular, We didn't select anything here, and the height is 70, and the width factor is 1, and that's it. Okay? You're probably going to click apply because this is, I already selected that earlier, so I already added my my application to the dimension style text. But you will have this active, and you're going to click apply, and then you're going to close for me. All right. The text color is by block. The fill color is none. The text height is 70. This is grayed out because we already selected a text, so we don't need to be back and select anything regarding the text height. The text placement here is above the in the vertical side, horizontal is centered, the view direction is left to right, and offset from dimension line is 15. The text alignment is aligned with dimension line. So those are the things that we selected. We didn't go with anything else. Here we left everything as is. There is no, you're not going to select annotative. If you select annotative, things are going to go a little bit problematic for us when we're printing from paper space. So we need to leave this unchecked. Overall scale of 1. Primary units are decimal. You have to select decimal as your primary unit. The precision is 0 because we're using millimeters here. Okay. We're not going to select anything regarding alternate unit. Alternate units means that we can actually display this in imperial and architectural. So if we clicked here and display alternate unit, we can actually select architectural, and then you're going to have 2 dimensions, which is sometimes very handy if you are working in a project between, for example, Canada and the US, and you need the 2 units or to be displayed. So we're not going to do that here. All right, so those are the dimension style characteristics that you should be selecting. And then after you select them, you're going to click OK. And then after you have that dimension style, you're going to click on Set Current. So you know that anything that you're going to be creating in terms of the dimension is going to be responding to the characteristics that we selected. And then we're going to click on Set Current and close. All right. Now, the other thing is the layer where this is based on. This is the GANO DIMS, and if I click on the layer properties here, I think we're gonna find it here, which is here. All right, so this is the layer GANO DIMS, and it's 0.13. The line weight, it's a continuous type, and the color is red. All right, so this is the layer that we're using, and I can basically, if I close here, I'm just going to close the layer editor, and then from here, I'm going to select the GANO DIMS. All right, now the dimension is mainly for your type of kitchen. It's really dependent on the amount of details that you have. For here, for example, if I had another a U-type kitchen, I would dimension the island. If there was an island here, I would dimension the island, the distance between the island and the cabinet. But because I have this, you're gonna see that I don't have a lot of dimension information. You might have according to the type of kitchen that you have, and the distances or the entrances between the kitchen cabinets or kitchen island, they have to be there. And I did actually illustrate this by, for example, the dimension by the chair and by this cabinet here, right? Definitely you need to dimension the openings, whether they are wall openings like windows or door openings like what we have here. Even if you have an arch or a column, you will need to dimension the column, the distance between the middle of the column to the adjacent walls, whether they are vertical or horizontal. Okay. We're gonna talk, definitely I will explain more about the RCP, which is the reflected ceiling plan. Those are also need to be dimensions, and they need to be dimensions from the midpoint of the fixture. Here we have a recessed lighting fixtures, and we dimension them from the midpoint. Okay, to the midpoint. To do dimension or to create dimension, all you have to do is that click on the dimension, and then you're going to have the dimension tool or command working with you, and then you can click here and click on and make sure that you have the ortho mode is on, and then we're going to have also perpendicular on. I'm going to click and then you're going to drag. And this is a way that we create dimension as we had seen in the previous Unit 6 exercise. Okay, so first thing that you need to do is definitely go to the dimension style and make sure that you start with standard. Sometimes standard is going to be tucked in down, so you need to bring the cursor down to be sure that you start with standard. Once you start with standard, okay, you're going to go to manage dimension style, and you're going to go to new because you're creating a copy of that, and you're going to name that copy dimension style, and then you're going to carry on selecting all of the attributes that we went through here to create our dimensions. Okay, so just don't forget to add the dimension on the proper layer. That's one thing, and that you are dimensioning. You're also adding dimension to the elevation. So I didn't add dimension to the elevation here, but they are here. Okay, so I'm just going to select all of those and make sure that I'm using, okay, here, dimension style, the right dimension style, and put that on the right layer. Okay, so so here we have dimension also for the elevations. Make sure that you have everything on the elevation also on the proper layer. I didn't add the elevations layer here, but you will do that for the elevations and for the section. So hopefully you can basically begin on dimensioning even your floor plan before we move next to the RCP and to the section.